Hi guys, it is Monday, January 30th, 2023, and I'm here to do my January WIP update. I am so tired. um, it's Monday after work. I had to go into the office today, and I'm just really tired. But I had brought my work project home, and I want to take it back tomorrow, so I want to get my video done so I don't have to keep taking my project back and forth. So here we are. January was mostly an okay month. I'm a little disappointed at the end here, but for the most part, it was pretty good. Yeah, so I had a couple of finishes and I had a couple of starts, and I worked on some WIPs, and I got some plans and some haul, and so yeah, and some categories. So here we go. We will start with finishes. The first one, and I kind of tease this because I did my December video before December 31st. I think I did it on December 30th or December 29th. And I was getting ready to finish Temperature Tree. But of course, I couldn't finish it until the last day of the year because I needed the temperature. So on the morning of New Year's Eve, I did 78 stitches. And I finished my Temperature Tree by Stitchin' Mommy. And apparently 78 stitches was exhausting because after I finished it, I took a little nap. But there's my Temperature Tree. It's for the year 2022, and it's for the city here outside of Los Angeles where I live. And I started it on sometime in June of 2020, and I didn't really do too much on it. When I first started it, I was frustrated with the chart because the trunk of the tree was across 4 pages. And I got the Pattern Keeper one from Sarah, and that helped a lot. And then for 2022, I made it my project that I split into 12 pieces, 12 branches, 12 months. It just kind of worked out. And so this was my last finish of 2022. And it was fun to do once. Do I need to do another temperature chart? Probably not. And then this next piece is one that I finished on January. I finished it last week sometime. I think it was a week ago today. January 23rd, maybe. January 24th. 23rd or 24th. And this is my Hanukkah Presley Penguin by KLC Charting. And I stitched this for my dad's cousin. Moving it closer because you can barely see that Star of David, that necklace that he's wearing. And I'm going to add the words, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to add the words Happy Hanukkah to it. And I'm going to ask a friend to finish it for me. And so I'll send it to her. And so there's a bunch of these. If you go to the KLT charting website, she's got like 17 of these penguins for different themes, different holidays, different causes. She's got one for Pride. She's got one for Christmas. She's got all kinds of them. So this is my finish. And this was in January. I did 1,044 stitches to finish it. And that was finishing the belly, the menorah, the Hanukkah, feet, the nose, the necklace, the back stitch, yeah. So the dreidel. So there's my penguin. He's adorable. So there are my two finishes. This fabric is Car Wash by 4 Night Fabric. And the Temperature Tree, this fabric is Elsa by Valkyrie Stitchworks, who is currently not dyeing fabric. 4 Night Fabric, on the other hand, is dyeing more fabric than they can deal with. So I also had 2 new starts. On New Year's Eve, okay, so Margaret and I were supposed to start to Telestai on New Year's Eve. But when we got on Zoom to do our start, I was trying to finish up, no, she was trying to finish the project that she was working on, and I had started a different project, and so we're like, well, what if we just push our start until Sunday, until New Year's Day, so she could finish her project, and I could just keep working on what I was doing. And so the project that I had started is this one here. This is Marshmallow Sweet by Mill Hill, Debbie Mum. And this is the companion. Last month I showed you my Warm and Wise. This is one of the other ones in that series. And so I've been working on this on and off this month. And this is where I've gotten to on it. Got thread sticking to my sweater here. So this is where I've gotten to on it. And I have done Marshmallow Sweet 1,330 stitches. And that, I think I did also a few more stitches, the stitches that I did on New Year's Eve, which I don't know how many it was, but so there's my Warm and Wise. And this will be a finish next month. I was kind of hoping to finish it this month, and it didn't happen, but it'll be a finish next month. I'm kind of holding off on it a little bit because there's a prompt on Road Trip that I want to use it for. So I'm kind of slowing my roll on this until I get to that stop that I want to use it for on Road Trip, which has also been causing problems with my stitchy bug, but not the Road Trip, but wanting to use this for that, wanting to save this for that prompt. But we'll get to that. And then on New Year's Day, Margaret and I met back up, and we did our start. And what we started was Tetelestai by Quaint Rose Needle Arts on Etsy. And I have a very sad little start on it. I've done a whopping 30 stitches. Can you see that? So I'm using, this is Wisteria from Mystic Fabric, and I'm using 3865, and that's what I've done. Meanwhile, Margaret's going to finish hers in February. I know she will. She's already like half done or more than half done. She's been flying through it, and I've just got this little meager start here. I have some misgivings about the fabric, not about the color, but about the weave. So we'll see. I'm going to have to play with it a little bit, but that's what I have so far. This is going to be up for categories this month, so we're going to see what happens. And this is living in this Easter bag that I got from Grand Tog. This is just so adorable. It makes me smile. The little rabbits. So, those are my 2 new starts. So, my WIPs that I've worked on, these are in no particular order. This is just the one that happens to be on the top here. This is my work project, which is on top because it was the last one that I went and got from the entry here, where I put it down when I came in. This is my other Margaret Bendig piece. This is a Stitcher's Kit. It's an old EGA project. And I've just made this my designated work project, and I just leave it at work. And it's been very slow going because I'm only at work a couple of days a week in the office, and I only get 30, 40 stitches on it. I haven't been getting a lot of stitching in. There's been a few days that I haven't stitched, today being one of them. Last week I had a doctor's appointment one day, and I went into work late, so I had to take a short lunch, and I didn't stitch. But this is where I got to on it. I'm just working on that green. And I've done something like 169 stitches. It's not a lot. It's 164 stitches. And I'm trying to think if I added my last stitches on there. It might be more, but it's not any more than 200. It's not any more than 200. So I haven't made a ton of progress, but you know, I've gotten some progress on it. I'm moving down the curly cues there. So it'll go back to work and I'll chip away at it. I'll probably use it for shopping or something on the road trip. I'm going to have to go back and figure out whether or not I counted those last stitches that I did. This is what I'm going to work on February 1st. I'm looking forward to this. This is my dogs, my retrievers. And I did 1,037 stitches on it this month. And the reason I'm so excited about this for February is because, well, here, I'll show you what I did for January. Look at that, you guys. I made it to the corner. I need those boards like Sheila and EJ have. So I made it to the corner. This is the bottom corner of the project. And this is the end of the dog. And so I think all of this that's left in this black dog, which is a little bit of dog and a lot of grass, is around 1,000 stitches. It might be 1,200, it might be 800, I don't know. But I think it's somewhere around 1,000 stitches, and I'm looking forward to finishing that in February and finishing the black dog. And that's why I can't wait to get to it on Wednesday, on February 1st. It's because I'm looking forward to seeing the black dog finished. And then after that, probably in March, I think I'm going to move to the yellow dog. So there's my dog. I love it. He's going to come out for categories too. This next project is, this was a new start last summer. And I put it in categories because I had a goal that I wanted to meet on it. It's a project that I struggle with, but I pulled it out because I had a goal, and I'm like, I want to pull it out because I want to meet this goal. I want to see it. So this is Illuminated Manuscript by, sorry about the glare, but by Barbara Ann Richter. It's in an old issue of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. And this was Alma's birthday start that we started together last summer. And I did 500 stitches on this because, I'll show you. Here's the whole thing. And the reason why I wanted to pull it out is because I wanted to finish this gold motif here and this gold motif here, and I wanted to finish the two squirrels. And that's why I pulled it out. So I did both of those things. Those squirrels are adorable. And I was doing a 500 stitch prompt on Road Trip. So I finished my goal and I still didn't have quite enough stitches. So I did this orange block down at the bottom here. And I started the illuminated letter here and the music. So that was my progress on that. I think next time I work on it, which I'm not sure when that'll be. I don't think it's going to be in February, but whenever I work on it next, I think I'm going to work on, see this blue right here? There's some more of that down here, and I think I'm going to work on filling in that, filling in these holes here, and filling in the rest of this border, all the little things that go on this border. Oh, you can kind of see there's a little bit of another border here that I need to continue, so I'm just going to work on filling in all the rest of that border and all the little bits that go in there. So, and then when I get to this side, over here, this is where there's a musician in the corner, and this side is where the musician sits. So when I get over here, that'll be him. So there's my illuminating manuscript. I don't know when that's going to come out, but sometime. This is in this Autumn Bag by Goran. This project, this came out for one day. This came out for Margaret's birthday. So for Margaret's birthday, she and Vicky at Reading and Stitching started their chatelaines. And EJ and Laurel made sure to get online and watch, because when we were starting our chatelaines, they laughed at us. And I have to say that they were significantly less entertaining than apparently EJ and I were. We were more entertained by the conversation between EJ and Candy at 614 Stitcher. That was an entertaining conversation. Margaret and Vicky weren't terribly entertaining. But I only did 100 stitches since we were working on chatelaines. I pulled out my Japanese octagon box, and I only did 100 stitches. I finished off the frame here, and I started on here, and that's all I did on it. So there's my chatelaine. I'm starting to run out of cross stitch. There's some more frame, and there's the little motif that's in here, and then all the rest of this, all of these boxes, these corners here and up here, this up here. There's a little bit of cross stitch in here, I think, but this up here is all specialty stitches. Everything that's left on the tree is specialty stitches. So I'm running out of cross stitch on the first panel, but there it is. Also not sure when this is going to come back out. This is living in this Japanese, blue willow bean bag that I got from Vic at Stitch and Button. It's a little bit too small. It would really do better in a bigger bag, but, you know, heaven forbid you're project bag doesn't match your project. So it's living in here. And this is a project that I'm bringing out for the first time in a long time this year. This is one of those projects that I started back in the day. I've talked about this before. We're back in the day. I have a lot of projects that are large and at the beginning, and I worked on them for a little bit when I first started them back in the early and mid 2000s, and they've been sitting there for 15, 20 years, and this is one of those. And so this month I pulled it back out, and my goal on it is 5,000 stitches this year. And this is Savannah's Curtsy by Mirabilia. And I did 350 stitches on it this month. It took a little bit to get into it. It took a little bit to learn how to stitch on the fabric and just to kind of get a groove on it. But I got there. And so I did 350 stitches in her skirt right here. So there's that. She's going to come back out because 5,000 stitches is a lot. So it's going to make a good dent in her. Like, you know, it's not like putting 5,000 stitches in a Haid. Putting 5,000 stitches on her, it'll be a pretty good chunk of her. So that's the goal. So there she is. I'm trying. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Can you? Like, that doesn't look like 500 stitches, but there's a bunch of white. There you go. Now you can see it. There's a bunch of white there. And so what I'm trying to do, because the amount of white in this kind of daunts me, because, you know, white on white is so fun. So I'm trying to do 100 stitches of white and then 100 stitches of something else and 100 stitches of white and 100 stitches of something else. So that I'm not stuck on white, but I'm not like leaving all the white until the end. So I'm trying to kind of go back and forth with it a little bit. So there she is. And that's what I stitched on this one. I wanted to get to 5,000 stitches this month. I did not. I don't think I'm going to. Last Thursday, I was just tired and I didn't stitch. Thursday night, I got sick, like when I was at bedtime. And I ended up calling off work on Friday, and I think it was something that I ate on Thursday. I ended up calling off work on Friday, and I didn't do anything on Friday except sleep. I did very little except sleep. And then Saturday, I was feeling better. I stayed awake most of the day. I took a little nap, but I stayed awake most of the day, but I still didn't stitch. Sunday, I didn't stitch. And Sunday, I realized, and I think this was the problem on Saturday too, is I'm feeling a little bit of pressure. And this kind of goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning with the mill hill. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure to work on this project. This is the project that I'm dividing into 12 this year, like I did with the tree last year. This is my By Dimensions Gold Collection Petites. And I've been feeling a little bit of pressure to work on this, to do my January section for it. And I'm feeling a little bit put off by the fabric because 25-year-old Laurel started on 36 count. And I seem to remember she kind of struggled with the 36 count. And 45-year-old Laurel is going, what was she thinking? So I think this is going to be a little bit of a struggle bus, at least at first. I'm going to have to work with it. So last night I did make a step, and I sorted all the thread and got all the thread on the floss cards. I'm not convinced I did it exactly correctly because I have one color that doesn't really make sense for the color that it's supposed to be, but I can't figure out what color it would be instead, and I can't figure out what other color would be the one that it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna have to figure that out when I get there. But so I did make progress, but I still haven't put any stitches in it. So I've been feeling some pressure to stitch on this, which I haven't really wanted to. And then the thing that I have wanted to stitch on just because it's easy was the Mill Hill, but I also kind of want to save that for later in the road trip. And I really could probably do a little bit of both because I don't need it for that many stitches on the road trip. So I could probably work on it a little bit. Anyway, that's the story with that. So I wanted to get to 5,000 stitches this month, and not including the stitcher's kit that I take to work. So far this month, I've done 4,361 stitches. And so with that one, it'll be 45 something, which is not 5,000. I'm going to try to do some stitching tonight, but I don't think, maybe I could. If I was diligent, maybe I could get there. Get 500 and something stitches between tonight and tomorrow. Maybe I could. But I would like to, you know, I would like to try to get to 5,000 every month. So, we'll see. Plans. I want to try to get to 5,000. And February is a short month, so categories. February categories. Full coverage is probably going to be under the evergreen. Monochromatic is going to be Tetelestai. Stitcher's Choice is going to be the dogs. More than 50 colors. This kind of goes hand in hand with full coverage. So I might use under the evergreen for that. I mean, it only makes sense to use under the evergreen for that. I don't have a lot of projects that have more than 50 colors that aren't full coverage or Teresa Winsler. So that would probably be under the evergreen. And medium, actually, I think medium is the dogs. And I think, let me see. Oh, medium is the dogs, and Stitcher's Choice is the Mill Hill. Yeah. So that's going to be the categories for February. I still have my May that now I need to do January and February. I think after I get off here, I'm going to jump on Zoom, and I think I'm going to have a new start. And what I'm going to start is, if I can stay awake, I'm really tired. I thought I had downloaded a picture of it. I did. I think what I'm going to start is Hope Song by Heartstring Samplery. This was an exclusive that was offered last year in the Homespun Needlework group by Beth at Heartstring Samplery. And so I think this is what I'm going to start. And then, what else for next month? Oh, Vic at Stitch and Button, and I, next week, are going to start Bells of Ireland by Mirabilia. Or by Nora Corbett. And I think sometime in February, I don't know when, it's not here yet. I think I was watching the Sunshine Stitchers, and Sheila was talking about what she wants to stitch on for Black History Month. And one of the pieces that I wanted to do, mostly from watching Sheila, because she finished it last year or the year before, was Seeds of Freedom by Silver Creek Samplers. And I ordered it from 123 Stitch on January 21st, and it has not shipped yet, which I find insane. It has never, in all the years I've been ordering from 123 Stitch, it has never taken 10 days for them to ship my package. Usually I have it within 10 days. But when I go on the order status, it says one of them is shipping on February 1st, so I think that's the holdup. But they don't have that one item. So when it gets here, I think I'm going to start Seeds of Freedom by Silver Creek sometime in February. I don't know when, but sometime in February. So those are my plans for February. Haul. We have that. Some of it is shopping, some of it's not. As long as we're talking about Hope Song, I'll show this first. So when they put out the exclusive for Hope Song, they also gave you the option to buy a finishing kit. And they ended up shipping a lot of finishing kits separately because they didn't have enough or something. So mine was one of the ones that got delayed, but I got it sometime earlier in January. And this is the paddle that you mount it on. And they give you the Rick Rock, which is probably from Lady Dot Creates, and the batting. So there's my finishing kit for Hope Song. I was on Stitchery Express's Facebook page, and she's been putting up a lot of clearance albums of designers that she's dropping or things that she's just trying to clear out. And so I was flipping through those, and I went through My Big Toe ones, and I got a couple of those. I got Joyful, Patient, Faithful by My Big Toe. And it says, be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. I got New Mercies, which says, the steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never end. They are new every morning. Y'all might be familiar with a hymn that includes that sentiment. And then I got The Spirit Given, which says, the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-discipline. I love that verse. So I got that from her My Big Toe album. And then from her Lily Violette album, I got Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, just because I thought it was adorable. And then you might remember last summer I went to Phoenix to see Margaret, and we went to the attic. And when we were on our way out, because the store was closing and they kind of kicked us out, I saw this chart, but I didn't have time to stop and look at it, but I made note of who the designer was. And I went back and found out what it was, and I asked Margaret to pick it up for me, because she goes to the attic, here and there. So she did. She picked it up for me. And this is I Wait for the Lord by Hands to Work. I think it's an old release of theirs that may have been an exclusive from the attic, and they re-released it, or something like that. I don't really know. or it was an old release and they re-released it as an exclusive for the attic. I don't know, but anyway, that's the one that I got. And she also sent me the eagle from the Cottage Garden Samplings Year in the Woods series. And she sent me some floss cards. And she sent me a little stylus for my tablet. So thank you, Margaret. And I got, as a gift from Sammy at Sammy J Stitches, it came with the house by Hands On Design. Which my friends were laughing because they seem to think it fits. And so I have been watching for a while EJ at Sunshine Stitchers and Vic at Stitch and Button. And they've both been talking about this piece, and I've always kind of liked it, especially Vic. I've been watching her work on it here and there over the past couple of years. And I've always liked it. I think it was a release at Galleria, or she bought it at Galleria probably in 2019. And I've always kind of liked it, but it was an exclusive, it was a limited edition, and I just kind of made the assumption that I wouldn't be able to find it. So I never really did too much about it, even though I liked it. But this past month when they did their WIP parades, they both showed it. And I thought, maybe I should just go look for it, see if I could find it. And shockingly enough, it was available on the designer's website. So I went over to the Ink Circles website and I bought limited edition from Tracy Horner. It was not easy to find. So there's a limited edition, and it's a kit, and it comes with the fabric and it comes with the threads. So I got that, and I blame it on EJ and Vic. And Vic rolls her eyes because she's like, I bought that a while ago. That was like a delayed reaction. And then, funny story. So, for Christmas, I got kind of an IOU from my mom for a gift card because she didn't quite have the money to, to fund the gift card. So, in January, my poor mom, in January, my mom sent me an Amazon gift card. And she wrote on the back for 123 Stitch. And I'm going, that's not how this works. I cannot use an Amazon gift card at 123 Stitch. She meant well, but that's not how it works. So, but, it's an Amazon gift card. It's not bad. There's plenty of stuff at Amazon. So, what I ended up buying with it was I bought myself a Roku for my TV. So, now I can watch all of your beautiful floss tubes on the big screen instead of on my little laptop screen, which is fantastic. I find it a lot easier to stitch to floss tube when I'm watching it, or anything, if I'm watching it on the TV rather than the laptop. I don't know why that is, but I find it easier to stitch than watching it on the laptop. And I also got one of those 3-tier carts. I got the one that Vic has that comes with a little cover for the top so you have a flat surface on the top. And it's sitting over there. I haven't quite finished putting it together yet because life is hard. I've been having trouble with the screws. So I haven't quite finished putting it together, and it's kind of been sitting there. And then I bought this little pair of scissors off of Amazon. I just thought they were pretty. Who doesn't need a 100th pair of scissors? We all do, right? So I think that's it for me this month. Yeah. Yeah, I had 4 Mondays off in January. It was fantastic because 2 of them were holidays and 2 of them were my RDOs. And today was the first Monday that I've had to go in this month. and that kind of sucked. um, and I ended up having to take care of some medical stuff, and it'll be good in the long run. It's just a hassle, and but so I think that's it for me. Um, was there anything else that I wanted to tell y'all about? I don't know. I don't know. I'll think of it as soon as I turn off the recording. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful February, and stay safe and happy stitching, and I will see you next month. Bye.